What's going on? Y'all, I just took a break. Honest, truly, tropics were basically coming to an end, and there's really not been a lot to talk about. Honest, truly, though. But now we're getting into some wintry possibilities and severe possibilities. So we'll start doing some lives again. Okay. Um, Pretty tranquil conditions, quite frankly, right now throughout the country. There you can see 40s out here at the northwest, 32 degrees, just freezing up in the very far northeast. Down here in Tampa Bay region, my gosh, we got up to whoa, what's the temperature here right now at 68 degrees here right now. Hey, I'll buy that anytime, man. 64 in Pensacola, San Antonio 77 degrees right now, Austin 76, Dallas Fort Worth 77. I mean, y'all we're above normal in most places here right now. So what's going to change? Not too much over the next few days, honestly. Not too much is going to change, guys. We're probably going to see above normal conditions, above normal temperatures, all the way through Thanksgiving. Then after Thanksgiving, what's going to happen? Y'all, there's been all kinds of crazy posts out there. Man, some of these people are trying to freak people out. Don't be one of those that get freaked out over what you're seeing out there on Facebook right now about these majorly harsh conditions that's going to invade into the United States. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. I don't know. But y'all, don't get so caught up into this stuff. There's a lot of people that are getting all hyped up for really maybe no reason at all. Or it could be for a reason too. Let me say that. All right? But y'all, I don't want to see y'all here get all shook up here about some of these crazy things that's going on out there on Facebook. I have seen some crazy posts. Just, I mean, really look cool looking graphics, guys. They're just trying to scare the hell out of people to get likes and that kind of stuff. You know, every time you look at a picture, you know, what does that do? Well, that gets them the power of social media then. And that's what they're doing, guys. They're getting people all worked up over things that may not mean dilly squat about nothing right now. All they're talking about is sudden warming in the Arctic. Y'all, that's happened before. Make sure you understand this. This has happened before. This isn't the first time this has ever happened. They're making it sound like it's the first time this has ever happened. No, no, hardly the truth. So you know, let's get on into certain things first. We're going to talk about severe weather here. Right now, currently, there's a little bit of a severe weather possibility here. Go back here. A little bit of possibility there in the basic area of Missouri area. I don't see too much there going on there right now, quite frankly. Uh, If there was, it's passed on in there, and you can see it's over there in Illinois now. And again, I don't think I see anything of major severe consequence. So let me put up radar scope here real quickly here. No, don't have nothing going on. Nothing of severe consequences going on at all. So that's always a good thing. See, we have no warnings over other than a flash flood warning out in California area, uh, in LA Basin area, and that's kind of scary right there to see that because that's where the burn scars are from all the burns that took place out there and all the horrendously bad homes that got burned out there in LA Basin area. So that's you could get flash flooding with landslides and mudslides. That's always a concern out there. But outside of that, y'all, there's nothing else in the United States really to worry about this evening. Now tomorrow, here's what the deal is. I looked at tomorrow real closely here before I went live. That's the reason I had this up here. So I was looking at this area here in Ohio Valley region here. Is there a severe chance there of some bad weather there? Well, I pulled up the HR model, and sure enough, look right there. Look what that looks like there for tomorrow. So yes, they're in Illinois, Indiana region, getting there across over there into Kentucky. There is a chance, and I'm gonna say a chance of some, which this is showing some updrafts of the possibility of some tornadic activity. Now, might that only be hail? This time of year, you can get hail. Okay? Yeah, the atmosphere is conducted to some hail. So, could that all be hail right there? Let's see what the Storm Prediction Center says right down here. A few strong to severe storms are possible across portions of the lower Ohio Valley on Tuesday. That's what they're saying now. And I've tried reading down here, y'all, and let me see what it says there in this one line. Where surface-based instability is most likely, some tornado threat will exist. Okay, some tornado threat will exist. So you can see it right there. Some tornado threat will exist. So what we're seeing right here in Illinois and Indiana and in the Kentucky right there is a chance. Casey, you need to watch this real closely. There is a chance of some tornadic activity there. They're in Illinois, Indiana, and moving there into Kentucky, as you can see. And so be careful there in that region there tomorrow. If you look at going forward then for day 3, what do we have? Well, now we got some activity back there in Texas. Now, day 3 consists of Wednesday into Thursday. 7 a.m. Wednesday into Thursday, 7 a.m. Okay? What do we got going on there? Boy. You know, I've been looking at this European model, okay? And I looked at it really closely before we went live. And I'll show you the lightning strikes here, okay? Let me get in there. Now, you see that lightning up there in Illinois and Indiana, move there into Kentucky for tomorrow. You guys can see it right there. And this is what I look for severe weather, okay? And can there be tornadic activity in the area? Well, the HR model is giving it right now, okay? That's the short range model, the HR model, I trust in a lot. So that's showing us, that you see all the lightning strikes there, and it does move there into Kentucky. Now let's watch there in Texas now. Now we're getting into Wednesday. Now, I'm going to say this, y'all, there in Texas. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana area. You guys are going to have some storm activity for almost a 5-day straight period there. For almost 5 straight days. Now watch this, what happens there for tomorrow, or on Wednesday. You see that storm is and all the lightning strikes there. And let me move in there into the South Central region. I say South Central so that way you can cover South Texas here. Now watch what happens here. Now, y'all, that is some really strong lightning there on Thursday at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's in the overnight hours of Wednesday night, Thursday morning. And you see that lightning there. Now watch what happens here on Thursday, though. Y'all, it just keeps coming. Look at this. Now we're getting in the 11 o'clock morning hours of Thursday morning. Look at how much lightning there is there. That's 4 p.m. Thursday. Now we're getting a line moving through it. They're at 7 p.m. on Thursday. You see that more distinct line. Now, does it fade out at all? Boy, it does. It kind of looks like it does there a little bit right there, right before it gets in the Houston area. Then look over there into Louisiana. We're getting some activity there moving through. Now, here's what the funky thing is. We start all over again here. Look at South Texas now. Now we're getting into Sunday. Look at Sunday now. Watch what happens here Sunday. Boom. Sunday night into Monday morning. That is 1 a.m. Monday morning right there. You see the white activity there on the lightning strikes? Look at all the white. Now, at first thought, remember that first thought we thought, wow, we're going to have really bad severe weather coming in, like maybe Sunday of this week, okay? Remember that? And then it got backed up to Thursday. You remember about a week or two ago, I was talking about how we're going to have back-to-back storm systems there in Texas? Well, this is the back-to-back, except it got delayed a little bit. So we got Thursday, then we got this Sunday, Monday timeline here. Now, how strong is that going to be? Look at that all the way down there in South Texas. You all been wanting some rain? You may be getting some rain there in South Texas. Finally. Finally, some rain coming to you guys in South Texas. And then you see that moves across now. Now we're getting in there. This is Wednesday. This is the day before Thanksgiving. Now, is there any problems up here, say, in New York area? It doesn't appear to be, no. And as a matter of fact, Thursday, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, I don't see a lot of activity. The most activity I see is right across maybe the Florida Panhandle right there. But if you look at the rest of the country, honestly, truly, do you see much of anything here? You really don't. Uh, there's not. There's no other lightning going on anywhere in the country. So it does not mean now. Let me repeat. That does not mean that you don't have some activity, say raininess going on. Let's look at the GFS model now. It's the same timeline. Let's follow it. Yeah, let's look at Thursday. Here's the problem at hand. See all that shower activity? There's just no lightning associated with it, see? So there's a lot of shower activity going on. And that look at Thursday at 7 p.m. Look at that line there. Now that looks like pretty severe, doesn't it? Could be. Now does the European model show that? It does not show any lightning going through there, does it? Except where? Back here in Texas. I don't think we see any lightning there on the European model. Let's watch this now again. Let's watch Thursday. Oops. Let me back this up some. Here is Thursday right here. Oh, gosh, dogs. Let me get there again. All right, there's Thursday at 7 p.m. Let's go to 1 p.m. Thursday at 1 p.m. The only lightning we see is down here. So, but up in here, we got a lot of shower activity, don't we? It shows up on the GFS model. Again, here's the GFS model. And I'll put up rain. You can see that rain up here in the Great Lakes region and right across Texas into Indiana. So there's going to be rain in that area right through there on Thanksgiving, and that's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Boy, New York, oh boy, you just miss it. Man, the Macy's Day Parade probably will be okay. Probably will be okay. That's what it looks like at 10 o'clock in the morning. The GFS model, now I say currently, this could be wrong now, okay? This could be wrong. It could be off of a few hours. This is too far out to know of any confidence of it right now. But currently, the GFS model for the Macy's Day Parade there in New York, it shows no rain currently on the GFS model. And again, might that change, guys? It might. It very well could. I mean, it's only off a few hours there. There's 7 p.m. and you see all that rain there moving into New York. That rain's actually moving into New York about 1 p.m. Just about the same time Macy's Day Parade is wrapping up. So, boy, it is going to be super close whether or not rain moves in to, say, there into New York City for the Macy's Day Parade. Which, who doesn't watch a Macy's Day Parade, right? Who doesn't watch it? I do, right? So, if you're going to New York, I would say bundle up. It's going to be probably cool. And boy, it could be wet. Could be very wet there as well, as the GFS model is showing right now. Because that rain definitely moves there into there on Thursday. And then you go into Friday. Good Black Friday. Everybody wants to shop, right? Well, boy, at 7 o'clock in the morning Friday, look at this mess across the country. Right in the middle. Guys, I mean some rain at 7 o'clock on Friday. Boy. Get your wet booties on and your raincoats, guys. That's at 7 p.m. on Friday. There's 1 a.m. on Saturday. It's not moving very fast, is it? That's 7 a.m. on Saturday. And that's at 1 o'clock, and there's 7 a.m. on Sunday. You see that kind of a frontal boundary there is moving right there into there. Now, how much rain is going to fall in this, say, in this sector here, where it's just raining, 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 raining? How much rain is that? A lot, and I do mean a whole lot. Now, guys, this can be off, okay? But let me stop it. I'm gonna be realistic here, okay? As much as I can. I'm gonna go backwards here now in time. I'm going backwards in time. Okay, let's stop it right here. Let's go to Sunday morning. Okay, that's Sunday morning. This takes us through this coming Sunday. If you look here in the Texas region, right through here, that's as much as 5.5 inches of rain in that general region right through there. Here's the European model for the same timeline. It's got as much as 9 inches in areas. Now I'm going to move there into the central region. That's where it's all happening at. And that 9 inches is back in here. Man, that's dangerous back there in maybe in California region back here. But Texas, Ohio Valley region up here, as much as 4.5 inches in places. Okay, as much as 4.5. Now, this is what we're getting, okay, through Sunday. What happens after Sunday for Thanksgiving week, okay? Now, watch this fill in. You want to talk about some rain? Watch how this fills in. Y'all, look what happens there in Texas. Look there in Texas. Look what happens on Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, y'all. In hill country there in Texas. Guys, that's putting down almost 10 inches of rain in that area. We could have a major flash flood crisis here. Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody here. But guys, this could be a major flash flood crisis here coming into play there right before Thanksgiving right there, as you can see. That's way too much rain in a very short period of time right there. That's shown there on the European model. Altogether, that shows 11.78 inches of rain. 11.78. That's almost a foot of rain in that area. Y'all, that's a lot of rain, right? We understand that. That's a lot of rain. And that's in the hill country. You can see that is some serious rain, in areas that we know has had flash flooding before occur. Now, can this be wrong? Well, it could be. Of course, that's too far out to have a lot of confidence because this is Thanksgiving weekend. This is on Thanksgiving Day is where I got it out to. That's where I stopped it at. But man, between let me just start. Let me just look at this. Okay, this is a Sunday before Thanksgiving. There's not much rain there, right? Not much rain here. And then Sunday, that rain starts off. Monday, look at it raining like crazy. Tuesday, still raining like crazy. And it basically stops there on Tuesday. So in a 24-hour period, it is putting down almost a foot of rain in that area. In a 24-hour period, the European model is putting down, y'all, almost a foot of rain. Very dangerous conditions this could be. Again, I seen this and I said, God, dogs, no. Again, guys, there's low confidence in this yet. Okay, I gotta stress there's low confidence in this because we're still looking at well over a week out yet. All right, so I can't stress enough that we're still low confidence in this. But let's just say this European model might be correct. If it is correct, and I'm saying if it might be correct, that would be a flash flood crisis in that area. It absolutely would. We know the history of what happens when we get that much rain in the hill country right there. That would be a major problem. All right? That'd be a major problem. All right. That's the European model. Here's the GFS model for the same timeline. What's it showing? It's not showing nearly as much rain. So understand, it's not showing nearly as much rain. So wow, what a difference between the GFS model and the European model. So I thought, okay, let's look at the Canadian model. Let's see what it shows. Canadian model is showing something kind of similar to what the European model is. Not quite as much, 7.92 inches of rain. 7.92. Quite a bit of rain up in Arkansas, up in Tennessee. That whole sector right there. Louisiana is getting some pretty good rain showers. And again, this is coming in a short period of time here. Look at that. I'm backing this up a little bit. That's this coming Saturday. Look what happens after Saturday. There's when all that heavy rain, especially there on Sunday, Monday, that's when that really heavy rain pops in there in that area right there on the Canadian model. So let's then, okay, so we looked at the Canadian model, we looked at the European model. Okay? How about, does the icon, I don't know if the icon model shows it or not. Let's look at it though. It does show rain. Icon model is not putting down quite as much rain, it doesn't appear. Although it stops right there on Monday, so I can't, it's not going all the way out. Let's see, let me go to the 18Z run. I gotta go to the 12Z run. Let's look at this one. Let's see what it shows here. No, it's not showing all that rain. It's not. So now, here's the model I like to use. And it's called the National Blend of Models. What does that mean? That means it takes kind of all the models, groups it all together, and kind of gives us an output of what might be. And y'all, again, quite a bit of rain here, okay, coming into play. A little bit of rain in that same area there through Friday. You see it right there. And then you get in there in the Sunday. Watch what happens. Sunday, it all starts up. Sunday, Monday. There it goes. And you see those rain and how much you see how much rain there is there in Texas, getting up in Oklahoma. Quite a bit of rain all the way through the Ohio Valley over here, Missouri. I'm not forgetting about you guys, or I'll get to it. But I'm really concentrating on this area right here because this is where the heaviest rain is showing up at, is right here. And if you look at the National Blend of Models, that's given about 6 inches of rain in that area there. Now, 6 inches of rain, there's a big difference between 6 inches of rain and a foot of rain, isn't there? There is a big difference there. So 6 inches of rain, and we could deal with that probably, right? You get a foot of rain, that's a different story. That's a completely different story. All right, so just be careful, and we'll watch these models really closely there for what rain is going to be developing there, especially on that Sunday through Tuesday timeline of next week. Sunday through Tuesday, guys, is when that really dangerous rain is appearing on that European model. It's Sunday through Tuesday, and we'll watch that really closely here, and we'll watch that HR model really closely there for you guys there in Texas, especially. Then you get over in the east. Some good beneficial rain here. Yeah, for areas here, there's I think there's a drought conditions in this area here. That's very beneficial rain there. Say through the Ohio Valley. Now, you're getting 2.5 inches of rain here. That doesn't sound like very much. Where's that rain all have to go though? Over a large area, 2.5 inches of rain is quite a bit of rain. Is there going to be a flash flood risk there too as well? It could be. Yeah, it could be. 2.5 inches of rain over a large area like that could be a problem. You look back there in Arkansas. You're getting 3.5 to 4 inches of rain there. Is that a problem? Again, if you're in low parts of area where you might live at, whether it be low or along a small stream or a river, it could result in a flash flood risk. It could. Many people don't understand what 2.5 to 3 inches of rain can do over a very large area. Y'all, that water has to pile up somewhere. And it's going to flow to the lowest spots, which are small creeks, streams, and rivers. That's where they flow to. And then where they back up at? Well, they flow into where? Into the larger rivers. But it's got to get there first. So y'all, we'll watch this very closely. We'll watch this very closely. The new MBM. Uh, I did not look at that. See that yet? Let me look into this. Let's look at that. Oh, I don't know if I want to look at it or not. Do we really want to see this? That's giving us 6.92 inches of rain. James, what's the difference between this and I have not looked into this? Do you know what the difference is between the new National Blend of Models and the old one? What's the primary difference in it? Do you know what it is? It's got to be something out there. I don't know what it would be. It's got to be taking consideration other models, I guess. I don't know what it is, but it is putting down a little bit, a few more inches of rain there in the area. There of say northern parts of Texas. That's getting close to 7 inches of rain in that area. So, y'all, any way you want to look at it, some people are going to get maybe some beneficial rain, and some people may get too much rain. That's what it looks like right now at this time. It could be an AI version. That very well may be. National Blend of Models AI though. I'm not sure how that would work. Unless it's just taking consideration of all the AI versions and putting them in together. That might be. But I thought the National Blend models took consideration of everything already. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look into that and let you guys know exactly what the difference is between the National Blend of models, the old one, and the new one here. I don't know what it is. There's a few new things they got on here, I see. It's like the Canadian model has a new model, a new update that just popped in. What's that? Ooh, that's putting down 10 inches of rain. Ouch. 9.65. So, y'all, we're getting some totals coming in here on not just the European model, but other models as well, showing us the possibility of a bad problem here arising here, especially there in Texas. Some rain all the way through from Texas to the Ohio Valley region. Yes, that's a fact. There ain't no doubt about that. And some of this area probably needs some beneficial rain. Some people might, but it may be too much. You know, it'd be nice to get an inch of rain over a day or two, but when you get 2 or 3 inches of rain in a very short period of time, y'all, over a large area like this, that could, I mean, look at the entire state of Kentucky as an example. The entire state is getting 2 to 3 inches of rain. Is that an issue? Well, it could be because when what happens? It all comes in fairly concentrated all at once. Look at that. Look at that rain move in there all at once. So, and there's where your flash flood risk come into play. I think there's going to be a fairly large area of flash flood risk level coming into play here. It looks like here, just looking at all these models. All right, so that's the severe weather threat with rain risk here. Now I'm gonna get into other things. Now there's all kinds of talks on social media about all this major cold air that's going to be coming into play. Right? That's all you can see on some of these guys. Some of these social media pages are trying to scare people half to death with this stuff. Now here's the European model, and we'll watch this. Now here's the Thanksgiving forecast. Let's get into that. All right, let's get into Thanksgiving. What do we have now? You look right there currently on this coming Friday. We have above average temperatures. Everywhere you see orange and browns like this, it's above average. Where you see blue and purple and green, okay, that's below average temperature. Look at most of the country. Look up here in Canada. Look up here in the northern parts of the country. Guys, Friday, this coming Friday, we're above normal almost everywhere. Slightly below normal there, maybe in Oklahoma. Now look. Now watch what happens here. Now go slightly below normal right there, just one day. This is coming Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're slightly below normal. But look down here in say Florida, above normal. Texas, you're above normal. Ohio Valley region right there, you're slightly below normal. Not great deal. 3 or 4 or 5 degrees below normal. That's it. Now let's get into Thanksgiving Day. There's Monday. Look how much of the country's above. Almost the entire country is above normal on Monday. All right, there's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Eve, right? Is there such thing as Thanksgiving Eve? Is there such thing as Thanksgiving Eve? I'm gonna say it's Thanksgiving Eve. Okay, this is Thanksgiving Eve. Okay, uh, at 1 p.m. Look at it. We're basically above normal over the eastern half of the continental U.S. All right, let's go to Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now here's Thursday at 1 o'clock. Most of the southeast, including Florida, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, all of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and most of Texas is what? Above normal at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, what happens at 7 p.m.? Well, that same area there is above normal. Now, we're getting below normal temperatures right here. Is it really bad below normal? No, y'all, it's not. It's only 3, 4, 5 degrees below normal. That's all this is. That's all it is. 3, 4, 5 degrees below normal. That's it. Nothing crazy. There's Friday. This is Saturday. Now we're starting to look at something a little different right now. See all this purple and pinkish up here? Now that's getting up there to 20 to 25 degrees below normal. Okay? I have up here anomaly. This is below normal. This is all below normal. You're getting there in the South Dakota, North Dakota region in Nebraska. You're in the purple. That's basically 20 degrees below normal. How bad is that? How cold is that right there? Here's the apparent temperature. Now, what happens when we start seeing the green? That's below zero. This is below zero temperature. This is the wind chill at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Now, look up here in North Dakota, South Dakota area. Ouch. Minnesota, Wisconsin. Ouch. Boy, a really cold Saturday morning up here on the European model, isn't it? Very, very cold. You see that cold air, single digit. Shopping started, right? There's 7 p.m. on Saturday. That's Sunday morning. This is what it looks like at 7 a.m. Sunday morning. Now, are we really getting really cold? Well, we are. Anomaly-wise, we're falling below normal by 21 degrees in some cases below normal. Go over to the east. We're all below normal over here, aren't we? Kentucky, you're well below normal. You're almost 20 degrees below normal. Here's a wind chill. And again, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Kentucky. Wow. Ouch. Cold. Indiana, you're almost single digit everywhere. Evansville, Indiana, you're about 14 degrees. And then you look. Man, look at the mountains over here in West Virginia and Virginia. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Below zero. That's below zero. How long does this stick around though? Okay, let's go forward now. Well, look at that. It retreats, doesn't it? Look how warm up. That's December the 1st. Now, is it gonna get cold again? You see all this green up here hanging around though, right? You see that? What does that mean? There's that green right there. Now I'm going to show you the polar vortex. Let's go to it for a second. Let's look at this. Now here's what it looks like currently right now. You see all these little fingers kind of sticking out there, okay? Now here's going to be our severe weather threat. We have a cutoff low here, okay? That cutoff low is, you see it tumbling right there. Then it kind of whips around there and then gets there into Texas there, eventually there. And here's where that, remember we said maybe it's going to be a severe weather threat there coming into play there Sunday, Monday. There's that cutoff low causing what? That possibly a flash flooding there too, right? You see it right there in Texas, right there. But what I want you to look at though is the polar vortex here. Y'all, when you see its finger sticking out like this, we know that's a weak polar vortex. But does it get even weaker? Does it get even weaker than this? Let's look at this. Looks about the same there. And then all of a sudden, though, all of a sudden, look at this. Look at this indentation right here, and look what is happening here, guys. Something crazy there is happening there with the polar vortex. Now, there's an awful lot of talk of it really going to get cold in December. I'm not completely in that ballpark yet. Okay, I'm not completely there yet. But I'm looking at this polar vortex right now, and I'm looking and just analyzing here with you guys same time. Okay, we can definitely see we have a bad polar vortex here that's very, very weak. And you guys have heard me say this many times, and I'll say it again. Anytime we have a very, very weak polar vortex, and this is showing signs of a very, very, very weak polar vortex right here. Okay, you can see it's almost the polar vortex is almost breaking off here completely on over here on the western side over here. What does that mean? That usually gives us a fairly good sign that we're going to have some really cold air evade the United States. Now, this is what it looks like on December the 2nd on the European modeling here. Here's the GFS model. Does it look something similar? It doesn't look quite the same. Well, hold on here. This thing's in the middle of updating. It doesn't look quite the same at all. But at that point right there, at the same time, when we're looking at the European model, there is a little similarities there. I mean, look at it. You got it's ragged as can be, isn't it? Very ragged looking polar vortex. Y'all, what do I think is going to happen here? Honestly, truly, if we go to the long range forecasting here, and I like using the long range sometimes, and I don't do this often, but in this case, I'm going to show it to you. Look what we have right here. See this warmth right here? Usually when you get that warmth right here, you're going to have cold air coming in on the back side of it here normally as a whole. Now, is that going to happen? Y'all, I don't know. It gives us a look right there of that possibility of turning colder. Okay, this is wild looking. I gotta tell y'all, the polar vortex is completely wicked looking right here. What all it's doing, and it's almost hard to understand. But if I go to snow right here, let's look at the snow totals here for the 35-day period. Now you look down here in the United States, Ohio Valley. What do we got there? You see snow, don't you? You see a lot of snow over here. Now this takes us through December 21st. The accuracy of this, y'all, is very porous. Okay, that's too far out to have a lot of confidence. But look how much snow we have coming in down in here, right here. Now, when is that all coming in? If I go to 7 days out and look at this, and look at each 7 days, that's December the 1st right there. Now, let's go out there a little bit further. Now, you see the Ohio Valley region. That's getting some snow coming in there probably about December the 7th. Then you get a pretty good snowstorm coming into play around December the 17th, right there in the Ohio Valley region again. And you look at all that snow moving up there in the northeast region even. So it gives you an idea, boy, that the Ohio Valley looks like could get a couple good snowstorms here. That region right through there could get some possibility of some fairly good snowstorms. Now, let's look at one other model here. Let's look at the extended. See what it shows. Now, you're getting some snow fairly far south there, aren't we? Look how far south. The gray you see there, you're getting snow all the way down in Texas, in parts of Louisiana, and across the Mississippi and Alabama, and even Georgia right through there. Now, that's the snow line where you see the gray. Again, low confidence of this. Yeah, yes, guys, I can't stress that enough. This is a GFS. Here's the European. Okay, now let's look at it. Let's go to it's here would take us 46 days out. That's a long ways out, right? Wow. No, it does not do that, Tim. Tell me it does not do that. Now, again, this takes us 46 days out. Okay, let's analyze this now for 7 days. Okay, when does that all happen down there in the south? Okay, let's watch this now. Let's watch when snow happens. Now, this is long range forecasting. I can't stress enough how is it irresponsible for me to show you guys this. This is more for fun than anything, guys. It really is. But let's watch this though. Okay, there's Ohio Valley around December the 15th, 16th timeline, getting some snow coming in there to play. Now we're starting to get snow. Oh boy, right before Christmas. December 22nd, right there. That's December 22nd. Boy, could be a monster of a snowstorm there going into the Northeast right before Christmas. Now, how much confidence we have in this? Guys, we can't have very much confidence in this. There's some more snow coming there into Texas around December 27th timeline. But you get the idea that if it's cold enough to snow, it could be cold, right? In December. It could be snow. If the models are showing snow really far south, that probably means we're probably running below normal here, right? Here's the temperature. What I'm going to do is show you a 30-day anomaly first. Look what we got. Below normal temperatures here, don't we? Look at that. Look at the anomaly. All the way through December 31st, between now and December 31st, we have below normal temperatures here. At 46 days out, well, we still have below normal temperatures here, don't we? Still below. So what does this look like going to happen? If you have below normal temperatures during the winter months, and if you have above average precipitation, okay, I'm going to put up an anomaly here now too. Let's put up a 30-day anomaly for precipitation. Whoops, what do we got? Well, where you see green and blue, okay, is above average precipitation. Where you see red and browns is below average precipitation. So Florida, for instance, is below average. Where you see red here, and say in Tennessee, is below average. Now, if I go to 46 days out anomaly, we get below average area, say in Kentucky. But look across the Ohio Valley region. You see the blues and greens there in Ohio, or in Illinois, and across Indiana right there through Missouri, and back there into Oklahoma. That's above average right there. That's giving us above average precipitation. Now this is just one modeling, guys. I can't stress it. This is only one modeling. There's so many models out there you can look at here. This is the European extended forecast. Here's the GFS extended. What does it give us for precip anomaly? Let's look at it. So we got above average here, below average over here. So above average still with Ohio Valley region and through Texas, and below average here. So what's the temperature look like in that same timeline? Here's the temperature forecast. What do we have? Well, it's got above average temperatures here and below average up here. So can we take much of this and say we have anything of agreement here? We don't, y'all. And that's my whole point. That so many of these pages now are freaking people out beyond hell, saying that, oh my gosh, we have a sudden warmth of the atmosphere in the polar vortex that's going to create a major winter event in place. Y'all, it may happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It might happen. But I can't tell you all that right now. That's too far out. And anybody that starts suggesting that kind of stuff, I'd get rid of those pages, guys. There is no way of is this right here that I just showed there a while ago. Do you really trust that to happen with this snow? Ah, golly gee, I don't know. Is that going to happen like that? It could. It might. Uh, I doubt that it'll look exactly like that. You start looking at all these extended forecasts of things right here. Here's oops, go back here. Here's the Canadian here. Let me get that up here. There we go. There's the Canadian forecast. Look at this snow. It's got snow well far south as well. It's got this takes us out to December 18th. It's got snow all the way to the Gulf Coast here. Not a lot, not a lot, but some. Here's the GFS again. You don't see a lot of snow down here on the GFS, do you? Here's the control side of it. Oops. The extended side. Let's go to the extended side. There we go. If you look at the extended side of it, oh, look at this. Then on the GFS, you got snow all the way to the south down here. Again, y'all, I I don't have a lot of I don't see a lot of credibility in what some people are saying out there on social media right now of some tremendously harsh winter conditions coming. And no, you're right. Time will tell. We have to wait for to get in a timeline that we can see this kind of stuff, y'all, before we start making suggestions that something bad is going to happen. Uh, People want to do no. I'll give it to you as early as I can give it to you. I'll give it to you. Right now, y'all, the suggestion out there that the polar vortex is going to collapse and create a massive Arctic blast that's going to stick around forever, like some people are saying, y'all don't believe that, okay? Now, the polar vortex is doing some crazy, funky things. I agree with that. It does. It does look like there is some crazy things that's happening there. But what exactly does it all mean? I don't know. Usually it means, now, I'll say this. Usually it does mean when we see that it does suggest that a harsh winter in December, especially as far out as it's going, could be coming. It is kind of suggesting that possibility, but I am not willing to say it right now. I can't do that. I can't do that. I won't do that. So y'all, let's not worry about the harshness of winter when we just don't know yet. Right now through Thanksgiving, my God, we're gonna be above normal for the most part. After Thanksgiving, things are gonna cool down a little bit for a couple of days, and it's gonna warm right back up. And then we'll have to see what happens in December. When we get into December, and I'll say around December the 10th, might be something we'll need might be watching. Okay, could be something that could be an interesting thing to watch develop. Is all that cold air gonna come out of the Arctic and move into the continental U.S.? It might, it might, but it's too far out to know yet right now, y'all. It is. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here, get to bed. Sorry to take up so much of your time, but I felt like I need to do a live broadcast, and I got home late tonight myself. My wife called me and says, "Where the heck are you at? You still at the store?" I am. It's almost 9 o'clock before I got home tonight, and so I had to eat and just chill for a second, and then I decided I was going to do a live here at 10. So I got home at 9, ate lunch, ate my dinner, and kicked my shoes off, and here I am. Sorry, but that is going to be my life for these next few months. So what will I be doing? I'll probably do a lot more live broadcast in the mornings and a little bit less in the evenings is what we'll probably be doing, okay? And the live broadcast will have to start up probably a little earlier, uh, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning, right at 9, and not do the 10 o'clock a.m. broadcast. So, y'all have a good night. Let's not worry about that silly polar vortex, okay? Um, if if anybody wants a polar vortex, it's James to come down. I guarantee you, James says, bring it to Austin. We can deal with it. Right, James? You can deal with the polar vortex in Austin, can't you? Oh my God, he says, hell no, Tim, don't you dare bring polar vortex back down there into Texas like we seen one year before. No, that wouldn't be a good thing. That would not be a good thing. All right, guys, have a good night. God bless you all, and uh, let's come back tomorrow morning, okay? Let's come back tomorrow morning. We'll do another broadcast tomorrow morning. It has to be pretty early though, okay? Because I do have a appointment. I gotta be at store by 11, so I gotta do an early broadcast, okay? Say 8:30, somewhere between 8:30 and 9, if not even before then. Um, I'll let you guys know as quick as I can, okay? What time it'll be. All right, guys. Have a great evening. God bless y'all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good night, everyone.